Lady O, welcome back to Jason Unleashed. Great to see you.
Hi.
Hello, hello. You're joining me from Jacksonville, yes?
Yes, it's so good to be home.
You've been busy, but I'm not surprised. We're talking about everything, but I have to first say happy belated birthday, the big 5-0. You look
Thank
not a day
you.
over 20.
That's why we're friends.
How do you feel?
I feel amazing. I mean, I went on a hour and a half bike ride. I hiked a canyon last week. It was a lake day on Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Age is just a number.
that's right. That's right. We have been eating you up and loving you on House of Villains, the first season. And first of all, thank you for giving us great television moments. You always deliver. And even the cast knew. Oh, when they're like, she's about to set this off. Word on the street is in the show, they had been talking about you before you even walked through the door.
Yeah, I mean, it was the House of Villains. It was the house that Lady O built. So of course, I think Johnny Fairplay and I started the same year, so we were the OGs. And so we had to just kind of come and represent for old school reality TV.
When it was really good, when reality TV was still exciting. I have to know though, I mean, like, look, you have had a career in television over 20 years now. You've been on some of the biggest
Yes.
unscripted television TV shows. I mean, and we talk about this, but we've never ever dived deep into the prerequisites of what it takes to get Omarosa to agree. Because once you walk in the building, it's ratings, it's revenue dollars, it's ad dollars, because people love to watch you on TV, be it unscripted television or you delivering and opining on political events and what's happening in the world. You are television gold. What does it take to get you to say yes, besides money?
Well, what? There's always that. We start with the offer. No, but I like being on the first seasons of franchises, right? So I like to be a part of that first cast where things are fresh, where you don't get to go and watch the tape from the previous seasons. I like to see things unfold and really kind of set the pace for any competitive show. I love competitive reality TV. I mean, I absolutely love it. And House of Villains is no different. I mean, it was a lot of fun to do. The cast was great. I got to compete with one of my good OG friends, Mr. Fairplay. And I ended up with like the best roommate ever. So that always helps, when you end up with somebody that's really cool on visa. So it was just a really great experience in terms of just getting to connect with people and to go back to my roots.
I love this evolution. And first of all, shout out to your roommates because you started off with loud ass snoring Jax, but then you ended with Amphisa, which was really cool. But
You know what? I think Jax is misunderstood,
for
Jason.
sure, no, I think so too. I'm a fan of
Okay.
Jax.
I
Yeah,
love, I love, love, love Jax.
Jax is great. Yeah, no, Jax is for sure misunderstood because reality TV, as you know, you have this indelible mark on you, right? Because you can't evolve as a person. Once you've been seen as a villain for one season, forever in eternity, you're constantly trying to, if you want to, change the narrative. And people forget that you are a human being with a whole range of emotions, a lot of textures.
That's right.
But Jax, because he's cheated on every girlfriend he's ever had, they refuse to realize that he's now a husband with a child and has grown and grown as a person, and he's definitely done the work on himself. We've also seen that happen on some of the shows he's been on. But you said you had an edge, and when you watched yourself back, you realized that you had to adjust. What do you think has been your biggest growth as Omarosa on television?
I think my biggest growth really has been learning to kind of enjoy the moment, right?
Yeah.
I'm just so incredibly competitive. So that competitive edge takes over me. I kind of got known on the first season of Apprentice saying, I didn't come here to make friends, or that the line where I said, they're like, what do you eat for breakfast? And I'm like, I eat my competition for breakfast. That's kind of followed me through my career. But I have evolved. Now I have fun, right? I'm not just 100% focused on winning, 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 winning. Now I want to just be in the moment. I want to connect. I want to, have these experiences and not just walk away with the cash, although cash is nice, or walk away with the prizes, although prizes are great. in this particular show, I walk away with all of that and great friendships. So Jax and Ifisa and Fairplay and I, we had a really good time.
I love that for you. I mean, like, you are to me one of the kindest people in the world, and I always was so impressed by that competitive edge because you moved in spaces, Omarosa, where you had to be that person, how you grew up, surviving the traumas that you've been through, existing in a crazy, very unreal administration, having to deal with
Wait,
all.
which one? Are you talking about when I was in the Clinton White House or the Trump White House?
Well, your 2018 New York Times bestselling book, Unhinged, an insider's account to the
Hey,
Trump White House.
yes.
You talk about, which I read from cover to cover, guys. Go pick it up now. Amazon, get it. New York Times
Thank
bestseller.
you. Thank you.
But you talk about what it took to move through that and the betrayal and coming out of that. And so for you to be on the other side with more self-awareness is a beautiful thing to see. But has that competitive edge been softened a little bit, or is it still there? Is it like the bubbling under, ready to erupt again?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. Is it there? Yes. I I am who I am, right?
Yeah.
I like to win. I like to win in life, and that's okay. I also realize that winning is not everything.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think it's important that you also experience happiness and joy. And, these are things that, because of, like you said, the things that I've been through, the traumas I've had, the incredible losses that which the audiences have been there with me from the beginning, for everything from the loss of, my love, Michael Clark Duncan, to my brother's murder, all these things that I've had to do in front of the camera. I've now just been able to kind of, I guess, exhale is a word for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we see that. I mean, we see that. And I love that for you. I feel like your faith has also grown as well. You don't shy away from sharing your love of God with anyone and everyone and your following and your fans. I mean, you have such a staunch commitment to that. And you're in law school now. I mean, the sky's the limit for you. I'm exhausted for you. What does relaxing look like to Omarosa?
You've actually caught me relaxing. I'm home and I'm trying to see if the dog is behaving. I gave him a treat so he wouldn't bark. Although before we started rolling, he was over here going crazy.
Yeah.
But this is relaxing. I love being home in Florida because, Florida, where we live, the community we live in, I get to do all the things I love to do. I love to hike. I love to bike. I love to golf. I love to golf. Did I mention I love to golf? And
When did
so,
you wait? When did this golf obsession start, Lady O? Were you is this a new thing, or have you always been an avid golfer?
I started golfing when I was 7 in a program very similar to First Tee, but not First Tee. My mom took me to a golf course. It was a program for inner city kids to get introduced to the game of golf. And that's when I picked it up. And of course, I played here and there, but when I got to college, I took, golf classes. I joined the mural golf team. And then in your professional life, if you're fortunate enough to work in, corporate spaces like I have, I've gotten to golf some of the greatest golf courses in the world. And now, of course, I play a lot of these celebrity charity golf tournaments. So I get to golf with, my friends and travel and golf the best golf courses, including Andrews in Scotland and just some of the other really cool golf courses. But my favorite course is my home course here in Jacksonville, and playing with my favorite golf partner, who is my husband.
Oh, marital bliss. It seems like you and Mr. Newman just continue to have your love blossom.
7 years. 7 years we've been married in April.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah. I look at you, Lady O, and we're in an election year now, and it's coming to a head very quickly. I mean, November is going to be here before you know it. And for you, I would imagine that everything you experience can be triggering, right? To have certain personalities and people be thrust in the forefront again. It kind of, even though we were always on the path of healing, healing is not linear. It's it ebb and flows, right? How do you cultivate that strength that you have? Because you are one of the strongest women I know. And when the world
Oh.
And I mean that. And I mean, we've talked for hours, and I mean, and I'm not saying that because we're on camera.
Jason, you are so blowing my cover. Like
she,
people are
she's
watching
like, what do
Villians
you?
and they're like,
Don't tell people my secrets. But how do you continue to build that? Because to have the public say one thing about you, and as a Black woman, let's close,
mm,
like let's keep it 100. To be called difficult, a threat,
mm,
aggressive, dismissive, all those things that anyone else can be, and it's okay. Those are seen as strengths, but for people who are not, who are of the BIPOC experience, especially someone who looks like you and me, those things are weaponized for sure, and
mhm.
seen as not strengths. How do you continue to move forward and just turn off the noise and stand 10 toes down in who you are?
Well, first of all, most people don't get to, get to know me the way you have. I mean, we're like chilling on yachts, Jason. Should we tell them what we do on our spare time?
Yeah,
It's a little different when we're like cruising around Miami, right?
right.
And we get to let our hair down. You get to know the Omarosa that they don't get to know.
Yeah,
But the other thing is I don't allow anyone to define who I am. Right.
yes,
I know who I am. And I have an opportunity to just be myself with the people who I love and people who know me. But the difficulties that I've experienced, particularly in the political arena or in the business world, are the things who have really that strengthened me, right? The fights that you've gone through, the times you've been knocked down and you get back up, that defines your character. And so I have just really been able to overcome some extraordinary obstacles. And I've taken those obstacles and really built on them. And I built a solid foundation for my future based on the things that I've overcome. So if I can really survive the things I've survived in the last, 7 years, then there is nothing that's going to stop me.